Welcome, everybody, to the Lok'd In Podcast. Hosted by the man with the most top 3 finishes and the most profitable manager in league history, Lok. Today's special guest, none other than our Lord and Savior, Mr. William Roseberry. Welcome, everybody, to the Lok'd In Podcast. This is episode 2, and we have an amazing show for you today. I can't wait to get into it, but before we do, one thing we do have to address with the channel, obviously, everything that helps us out is liking and subscribing, right? So, in our league, we have 10 members. Right now, our channel is sitting at a measly 3 subscribers. Obviously, some numbers are off here. So, I'm going to walk you through this, okay? Very easy to do. Over here on this side of the screen, I'm going to put some arrows that point down to 2 buttons that are located below the screen, below the video. Now, very easy. All you do is you take your mouse or your finger, whatever you're using, phone, computer, however you do it. You're going to scroll down over here and you're going to just tap those 2 buttons. Now, what that does is that obviously helps me out. It helps the podcast out. It helps us grow. So if you're not subscribed, do that now. Definitely appreciate it. I'll actually give you 5 seconds. Do it. Just do it. Do it now. Okay. All right. So now that we addressed that, it's time to get locked in. So first thing on the agenda today is news and notes. So last week, I am happy that one of our fellow league members pointed out something to me, some misinformation that I spread, which I apologize for. I had said last week that Cole Beasley re-signed with the Buffalo Bills. As you know, he's not a free agent. He re-signed. He's playing for the Bills, all that stuff, right? Now, at the same time, I wasn't 100% sure. I did clarify that in the podcast, but to make sure that we're not spreading misinformation, let's just put it out there. He has not signed yet. He is still a free agent. Okay? Got to start things off on the right foot. Can't get canceled on episode 2. So number 2, Stephon Gilmore did sign with the Colts last week, making that defense a lot better. Should impact some fantasy situations this year where, you know, wide receiver matchups, all that good stuff, when playing the Colts. I don't know how much of an impact it'll have, but something to look at. Also, the last and final thing I have, not very much happened last week, but Baker Mayfield's still not signed. The only thing that came out on the Baker Mayfield situation was that there is potential interest in Carolina. That's looking like the only place that's willing to take the guy, which could have a huge impact on CMC, who's my keeper. All right, so I'm putting it out there. You all know first, I'm keeping CMC. But next season, if Baker's there, obviously we could help him out. I mean, Baker Mayfield can't throw more than 10 yards accurately, so he's going to have to check down the ball a lot. So expect another top 5 finish for CMC if he can stay healthy. But besides that, that is all the news that I have for right now. I don't want to waste any more time. I want to hop into this podcast. I want to hop into the interview. This next man needs no introduction, but we're going to give him one because he deserves it. He is a 2-time champion in the league. He is a co-ed fantasy or a co-ed flag football champion. And he is a max level warlock on World of Warcraft. And he is none other than our fearless leader, the league commissioner, Mr. William Roseberry. Mr. Will, what's going on, man?
Not much, man.
All right. So first of all, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. I know you have a lot of things going on, all the media, you know, the behind the scenes stuff that goes on running a fantasy football league. So, wanted to thank you for being here. We definitely appreciate it. And I also wanted to apologize right from the get-go because I did not get approval before starting this podcast. So, you know, before you do any punishment, you know, we can keep it off camera. I just want to get through this because our league members deserve it. They need some entertainment during the offseason. So we can just save that for afterwards. Any fine, suspension, whatever we have to do. Let's just wait, and I'd appreciate it.
Well, it ain't easy to keep track of everything. I mean,
But so first things first, I want to know how things are going in the offseason. what's things like in Philly? I know we just talked about mask mandate coming back. What's
Yeah.
going on up there? And anything else going on in the life right now of Mr. Will?
Well, now I own 2 flag teams, as you said earlier. I'm a captain of both of them.
Wow.
Along with the league. Aside from that, there ain't jack shit to do. Liberals control the city. Fucking ain't nowhere to go. Thought we were out of it. And just today, fucking got put masks back on. Went out to get a fucking sandwich. And they were like, hey, you can't come in here. And I was like, God damn it. So I had to go back to my car and find a mask that I had from like 3 months ago. And yeah, that's about it. I'm getting kind of fat, so I had to grow a Nicholson beard.
Nice.
Yeah, been using a few Nicholson's recipes I learned from when I lived with them. Mom's spaghetti. It's made in a cauldron with about 3 pounds of chicken tossed in. And yeah.
So Nick's getting slimmer than you right now.
Dude, he's not far, apparently.
He looks slim, man.
At 220 or something?
Huh?
What was his weigh in? 220?
Oh, hell no. I mean,
No?
let's not get too excited.
Or was that Jake?
No, Jake's still like 305 from when he weighed himself, but no, Nick was like 271 or something. So he's lost like 30 pounds.
Gotcha.
Something crazy.
All right, yeah, I still got 100 pounds to go then. Actually, probably even less. I'm catching up.
Are we interrupting a World of Warcraft raid tonight, or are we?
No,
is it Mondays or is that Wednesdays?
I resigned last week.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
They kicked you out?
No, I messaged the dude. I was like, look, I'm tired of being on my schedule. Tuesday, Wednesdays from 8 to 12. We'd be in there doing the same bullshit we did every week before for like 6 months on end. I'm just bored.
They don't add shit.
So other games to play, like Elden Ring, fucking playing Game Squad, some Project Zomboid, some Warhammer.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, obviously we can have another podcast just for gaming ourselves, so we can save that because there's a lot of people in this league that don't even know how to follow and subscribe to a channel. So we'll save that for another time. But I definitely need some game ideas because I'm bored as shit, as you guys can see. But anyways, now that we got that out of the way, give the league a little insight to what's happening in the offseason. Obviously not much of anything. I want to get into last season. So I'm going to sit up for this one. All right. The last season, obviously, ninth place finish for yourself. That is not your usual. It's not what you usually do. Okay. So I'm not looking too into it. Not looking into it too much. But first things first, we have to go over the record. I'm going to share the screen here so you can see it. I did bring everything up. So, what's that?
Yeah, I hit the button to see it. All right,
okay.
I'm on it.
The last year finished 5-9, which the crazy part about that record, and I'm not sure if anybody in the league knew it. I didn't know it until I actually looked everything up. But you started 4-1 last season, and you lost 8 of your last 9 games to finish the season, which is crazy.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
But looking at last season, obviously finishing 9th. I mean, you've done this in 2018, the first year that we started the Friendly Fantasy League. You went 1-12. You won in like the 7th place game. So you came in 7th that year, which was kind of crazy. I looked at the standings. I was like, how the hell is a 1-12 team in 7th place? But I forgot we do weird shit like that. And then you bounced back though in 2019 and you were our champ. So 2020, you went 8-5, last year 5-9. So it seems like when you have your worst year, you bounce back. So we'll see what happens next season. But basically the biggest thing that I saw last year, and if we're diving into, I'm going to pull up week 1. We're going to look at your team that you started with.
Right.
Okay. So your draft grade, first of all, was a D+. Not a good sign. But
Well, hold up. The draft grades only do that because they take the ADP of the player you have. And we usually do an offline
we do the
draft.
keepers, right?
Well, we put ours in manually, so whoever the hell you pick up, like in the 4th, or let's say like I do the list from like the middle or something. Like, let's say I go by team order and not draft order, and I put the players in that way.
Yeah.
They'll think like you drafted like a defense first overall. So the draft grades really don't mean anything for us.
So fuck the draft grades. We're not talking about that. We're gonna look at obviously the team. Aaron Rodgers. What happened that first week? I don't remember how he got 1 point. Did he play? Was that I thought that was the game that he was like supposed to be suspended or something, or he didn't want to play, or was that last season?
He just got dick stomped.
Yeah. The Aaron Rodgers pick, I was like, all right, cool. Amari Cooper went off that game, 42 points. I mean, you scored 174 that week, so it looked promising in the beginning. Obviously, we know your running backs are stacked. So Dalvin Cook, Montgomery, Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, they didn't really show up until the end of the season, but team was looking good at this point. And if DJ Chark
did all those receivers get hurt? If I remember correct, DJ Chark was out for the season.
So DJ Chark did. He got injured.
Corey Davis got hurt.
No.
Amari Cooper got hurt.
Well, are
you sure?
Let's keep going here, okay? So that's what you would think. A lot of them they did get hurt in like certain weeks. They didn't play like a couple weeks here or there. But the issue was, so like you started 1-0, you went into week 2, you won again because obviously you played. Who'd you play that week? That red? No, yeah, you played red. Okay. Well, I mean that guy wasn't scoring over 100 anyway. But this week you kind of start to see where your issues are, and it was your wide receiver position. So, crazy stat that I got from our league historian. Did you know that you placed last in wide receiver points by more than 200 points?
Yeah, I believe that.
So, which was crazy to me. I guess 9th place had like 220 more points than you in wide receivers. But Amari Cooper, Corey Davis, DJ Chark, I think this is the game that he gets hurt. But not an impressive week. But hey, you still won. We go to week 3. Aaron Rodgers, good. Amari Cooper, Corey Davis, again, shit. DJ Chark, okay, he's still there. The wide receiver position just is killing you all season.
Yeah, man, you don't have to tell me. What is this, a roast?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna get your input in a second.
I'm well aware why I lost.
Okay, so this is the thing. I want you to admit that, because the question is,
I wasn't denying it, that's for sure.
Well, the question is if you knew that, okay, you have these 5 running backs, you can only keep 3. So why not make it?
Nobody would trade.
Nobody.
I was trying. Nobody would trade for a goddamn running back. So, like, take a look, right?
Okay.
Like, I tried moving Dalvin Cook, right? But he gets hurt week 3. He gets hurt week 5. He hardly plays week 4, right? And then he has a bye. Click the little box. Click the little box beside the fucking name, dude. Like, I don't even, where is he? Is he there? What are you looking at? Week 4?
I'm in week 4 right now.
Right.
So who are we looking at? Dalvin Cook?
Dalvin Cook, yeah. Click the little box.
Yeah, so he gets hurt week 4. He's only out for a week.
What are you talking about? He wasn't even supposed to play that 4th week, right? And then for some reason he had 9 snaps or 9 attempts. And then they were like, oh shit, he's still hurt, so they fucking put him away the next game.
Okay. So he comes back. He comes back week 6 and goes off for 26.
Right. But then he has got a bye. You can't trade somebody before their bye. And then fucking the week after that, he gets curb stomped by Dallas. And then he gets hurt to round out the season. I mean, I
feel like I tried to trade for Dalvin Cook plenty of times last season.
You were offering me like fucking what? Terry McLaurin
Hey,
was it?
I don't know.
And
I didn't have Terry McLaurin until about week 3 or 4.
he was
It might have been
throwing
that.
Terry McLaurin and Mike Evans, I think, at me at one point. I
Hey,
think were the two.
you needed
But
wide receivers.
This was later in the season.
Yeah. Well, see, this is why we're doing this. See, I like to hear your argument too, because I don't, I'm just looking at what I see on the list here. So
no, I definitely got fucked on receivers. I mean,
yeah,
like you could see week 1 what my plan was, right? Like,
yeah, you went wide
Courtney,
receiver or you went running back heavy, and Amari Cooper, if he would have just kept, I mean, he had a few good weeks here or there, but he just was not very consistent. I mean, what, week 5, 15? Here, let's look at.
Just complete ass.
Oh,
like
yeah.
He got hurt. And then, like, I don't know, dude. Dallas stopped scoring more than 20 points a game near the end of the season.
Well, I felt it was CD as well. So you're not the only one.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I mean, just a couple seasons ago, Amari Cooper is like a top 5 receiver.
Yeah. Well,
like last season before
that was
Dak
before
got
CD.
hurt,
That was before CD came in there, though. He took a lot of targets.
that was part of it, but he was number 1 when CD was there before Dak got hurt last season. He was number 1 in fantasy up until Dak got hurt.
Yeah.
And then he was garbage. And then so was Zeke. Like, I don't have Zeke, but I mean, he was, right?
Hey, top 5 running back, bro.
Top 5 running back, my man.
Not Tony Pollard. Okay. So, I mean, that makes sense from your end. I mean, what was going on? It's just like, I would like to hear from other people. Maybe they could post it in the Discord, see what some of the trade offers were. That's what I would like to know. Because I think, I mean, really, if you make...
Not a lot of people wanted running backs. Like,
yeah, well, that's the changing of the league now.
That, I mean, it's true. But if you look at my running backs too, a lot of them didn't go off until later. Like, Cook got hurt early, so it's hard to ship him because, you never know if he's going to be out half the season or some shit. Because when he is healthy, or at least somewhat healthy, he fucking goes off, right?
Montgomery got hurt for a while. I had him in another league, and he was out for like 6-7 weeks. So
he was out weeks 5 through 8, and then he had a bye on week 10.
Yeah, and he came back, and he played pretty well.
Yeah, down the stretch.
Javonte Williams was late. Wow, he played really well late.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. I mean, you probably getting what? Okay, let's say you could start 4 running backs. Say they give you 20 apiece. I mean, the rest of your team was hurting you though. The wide receivers was pretty rough.
I mean,
towards the end of the season,
that was the plan. Like, all I thought was, I just need to get 2 good receivers, and I should be fine. But I couldn't even do that. Like,
yeah.
And the running backs, like, if you look at Gibson was my first pick in the draft. Weeks fucking 6 through 8. If you take a look,
he played all right at the end of the season, but that's again, that didn't matter at the end of the season. I mean, you're basically stuck there.
So I went 3-1 to start the season, and then I lost like 8 straight. And you can see pretty much all my running backs weeks like 6 through 10
just trash. Garbage. Yeah, and that was what was supposed to carry you. So, and Aaron Rodgers, he played Aaron Rodgers like so.
He did. He really well. He got MVP, man.
Yeah. Well, he's always
He was.
He's the man.
I can't believe you guys let him fall to like the 8th or some shit. I got him in.
Yep.
He fell into like the 8th round in our draft, which is really like the 11th round.
That's the thing in this league. They think that drafting a quarterback so late is going to be the, that's the way to go. But I think it's a turning of the page Rodgers, now.
They had that whole thing in the offseason with Rodgers where they didn't think he was going to play, or they thought he was going to hold out.
Yeah, they thought he wasn't going to play very well, or he was going to play like trash, try and tank.
Yeah, because I got him in like 3 leagues really late.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Michael Carter got hurt. Michael Carter was actually decent.
Yeah, he played for a little while. He had a couple big games towards the end of the season, right?
No, like
not
throughout
really.
the season until he got hurt.
Yeah, he was pretty consistent. But let's see. So like if we're looking at, I mean, your analysis is essentially you just got fucked by going running back heavy. Running backs didn't pan out.
I mean, that and like DJ Chark, I think was my second pick. Like I didn't start out, completely heavy. I think I kept Cooper, right? And I got Corey Davis, I think, in the 4th. And
well, that's the thing. You were rolling with Corey Davis for a while, and I just didn't.
What else was I supposed to do?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like when I looked at the team, I was like, holy shit, he has Corey Davis in his lineup until like week 12. And I'm like, that's not good. And then I saw Nelson Aguilar in there a couple times, and I was like, wow, he's really desperate. So, yeah. And obviously tight end position. Did you have Higbee all season?
No.
You had him, let's see.
I had Gronk.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You don't remember that week?
I do remember Gronk.
I had 2 free agents that the one week I picked up. It was Eli Mitchell and it was Gronk.
Oh, Mitchell,
I spent like almost all my FOB on those 2 guys.
I mean, it wasn't $46 for Hubbard.
No, but hold up.
I think you spent more. Didn't you spend like 50?
I think I spent $61 on what's his face, Mitchell.
Holy shit!
Which was kind of worth it, honestly.
Well, for those weeks.
I mean, take a look at where is he on there? This is week 8. Yeah. Aside from the weeks when he was hurt, like if he plays, the 49ers
running backs, like if you have this starting running back there, like they're gonna go off every week.
Well, even when what the hell's his name came back, they were still playing Mitchell when he was healty above him.
Mozart? Or no, he was out for the season. Then I had him. Who the fuck was it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Hold up, I'll figure it out in a second. I put $31 on Ron Gronkowski, which was worth it.
Did he get hurt towards the end of the season too? Oh no, he dominated every week.
Oh, he's fucking dope.
Well, he was out weeks 4 through 10.
Yeah, that was in the beginning of the season, though.
Yeah.
And I had $53 on Mitchell. The next highest offer was 19 by Corey.
So if you had to say, let's say this. So if we're looking at potential keepers for next year, obviously we don't want to give all of them, but I would imagine that yours right now, I mean, Cooper's probably not on the list anymore.
I'll tell you straight up who they are.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you straight up. I don't fucking know. Like I'll tell you guys who I think are a lock, right? I'm definitely gonna keep Cook, right?
Dalvin Cook is a guaranteed lock. Yep.
Dalvin Cook, definitely, right? Okay, this is where it gets fucking mucky for me. I got Elijah Mitchell actually did pretty well. Like if you look when he plays, like he's getting 30 points a game. Like,
is he gonna be the starter there though? Like you got Sermon there now. He's young.
I mean, I would think so. Mitchell's young,
and Fields is not. He's not and that team in general is a running offense. So I mean that if he's the guaranteed starters, then that's the way to go. But
I mean, they run Debo on that team.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of looks now too.
But they were running him even when Mitchell was putting up those points.
Yeah, I mean, what about like Javonte?
I think I might keep Javonte
because Melvin Gordon's gone, right?
Gordon's gone, yeah. So, and they haven't gotten anyone else unless they get somebody in the draft.
And you got Russell Wilson there, which is good.
Yeah, they have Russell Wilson.
You got a good.
It's gonna be. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep him.
You're looking at like Dalvin Cook, Javonte Williams, Mitchell, and maybe Montgomery. And we'll put one more in there, maybe Michael Carter. Like Michael Carter would be a keeper on Red's team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I think I definitely do Montgomery over Carter. One thing a lot of people don't know is that David Montgomery last season was like a top 5 running back.
Oh, David Montgomery, since Corey got rid of him.
Yeah, since Corey
since Corey drafted him and he was so high on him. As soon as he got rid of that guy, he went off. And you've had him ever since, right?
Yeah, that same shit happened to me the year before with I drafted Nick Chubb his rookie year and then dropped him. And then the next season, of course, he becomes like a top running back. Hold on, let me look.
So I'm gonna sneak this in there too. I totally forgot to say this, but kind of back to the like not trading the running backs thing. Like last year there was 18 trades in the season and you had 0, which is kind of crazy. Sure to not have one single trade during the season. You were pulling like the Garlow move, thinking that you know,
like hard to get or something. I don't know, man. I tried trading with Jake too, and you all know how that is.
He only trades with red.
You gotta like trade with Jake in person. I gotta like fly the jet down and fucking talk to him in order to like get him to do anything, man. I remember when we had the draft in Clearwater that one year at that house, which by the way, possible draft location this season. I was looking at it. It's available.
Right next door.
What was that?
I'm right next door, so I'm down.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go back to Fort Myers. No offense to Jesse's, compound. I definitely don't want to fly down to go to LaBelle. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, it's the greatest. It's gonna be the greatest weekend ever. We just get high. Take gummies. Well, that's true. No, the Clearwater draft was by far our best draft in like years.
I think it was.
The cabin could have been if Nick didn't have COVID.
Well, fucking the cabin. Like, you guys decide on the one place that's like literally 2.5 hours from the nearest airport. Like, there's no airport within 2 hours of that cabin. It was like I would have had to fly into like Charlotte and then have someone pick me up and then ride for 4 hours. Or I could fly into, what was it, like Knoxville, Tennessee? And that was like a 2.5 hour drive.
Who makes these decisions? It's just clearly, as the commissioner, we thought, you have a lot of power, but
you basically were going to the cabin, and then like 2 weeks before, you guys are like, yeah, we're drafting. And I was like, all right, I guess I got like that week. I had to get ready for the draft. I had to set all the shit up online, so you guys could fucking draft.
Don't put you guys out there, okay? There's only one man that has control.
Well, we all know it's the Big Nick show.
Yeah, but we don't have control. So, let's see. So projections for next season. What do you see? Let's just talk league wise, right? If you're looking at keeper situations or who you think, what do you think about Beer Bitch? Is he going to repeat? Let's just go there.
Oh, you want to know like other team project? Like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, man. Just to project. Well, let's just go with you. I mean, what do you project yourself to be? I mean, if you're keeping Dalvin Cook, Mitchell, and Montgomery, running backs are stacked.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. First-year receivers never do well, so I have to figure
there's a lot of good receivers going to be in the draft.
Right, but even then, like, how often do you get like a Justin Jefferson his rookie season? Right.
Well, if you're Corey,
like, how often does that happen?
Just whoever Corey's going to draft, or whoever Corey would draft, just take that guy and just hold him for like 8 weeks.
I mean,
and he'll go off.
Like Corey gets receivers too. Like when he got Odell Beckham the year he went off. Like that wasn't Odell Beckham's rookie year, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, all right, but he picked him up near like the end of the season.
Yeah, he picked him up at the end of the season. He went off.
My point is, you never see like a rookie receiver. Like, it's very rare they have 1,000 yards and like over 80 catches or anything near that, right? Like Jefferson did it, I think, right?
Yeah. Mike Evans, 1,000.
Yeah, Mike Evans has done it.
Well, he's done it every year, which is like another crazy thing. Like
Evans for.
I don't know. I've had him 2 years now.
I drafted him.
Yeah,
like his rookie year.
I feel like I've had him for 2 seasons. I think I got him from Garlow.
Did you?
Because Garlow always talked about him being his roommate.
I think I may have traded him to like Hogan or something. I can't remember.
Guy's been around the league. So projection wise, I mean that is kind of tough right now to like say anything for next season. But I guess the biggest thing is right now, are there any changes in this league as the commissioner? Are there any changes that you feel would make the league a better place. Whether that be, obviously, I mean, number one, you switched from GroupMe to Discord, which, you know, always works, of course. Discord,
Hey
I mean,
man, that was some pull from Ray Ray too, our chief technology officer here.
so what
And I mean,
about,
I'm always on Discord anyway, so I
yeah,
didn't care.
Discord's when it works, it's good. Obviously, I think we need to utilize, that's why I got into this a little more. We need to utilize some of the, like, they have like the video chat. They have different, what else they have in there? They have a bunch of shit that you can do. Different threads.
The same shit we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
What about switching? I mean, you know, switching from Yahoo, what has been known to work for 12 plus years. Let's just switch it up, because apparently there is a platform out there that gives you cool emojis when you win games. So didn't know if you were thinking about that.
I mean, I don't know. Corey's pushing for sleeper. That's the only one I'd even consider, I guess. But I mean, what's the difference? Well, like, what more does it offer, right? Except it tells you when to pick
Emojis.
somebody up at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, emojis. They have cool little after you win, I guess they give you like some cool like animation.
Cool. I mean, so does fucking Yahoo.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask Jake. Let's see.
Jake want it too?
Yeah, he was the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Corey's recommendation, and that's another one that we could talk about. Corey's recommendation was the participation award. So if you have a good week, but you know you lost, if you're in the top 5, you still get a win. So you get a win for placing in the top 5, and you get a win for winning your game as well. So you could potentially go 2-0 each week, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It just seems too complicated. Like,
well, I mean, it's not really complicated. I mean, it makes sense in the aspect of like, hey, you know, in those situations where
in Sleeper?
No, you can do it in Yahoo as well.
Oh shit.
I'm pretty sure. Now, I don't want to put misinformation out there. So,
yeah,
you know, we don't want to get canceled on episode 3. So let's but I believe you can do that in most leagues, because they give you like, you know, in those situations where you score 190 and somebody scores 193, like what the fuck, you know? So that's right. Corey's idea. Like, hey, because he's always placing in the top 5, you know, every week, clearly.
Well, I mean, he just needs to play better.
There you go.
Like,
you heard it first.
I think that's the game, dude. Like, I think it happened to me twice this year too, right? Like, hold on, let me look at my schedule real quick. Like,
yeah, I mean,
certain I had a couple games. I lost to Dumb Luck. So I lost to Garlo by 3 points. And then I beat Nick by 4 points.
Now, in Corey's defense, he did have 2 games back to back where he lost by less than a point.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That fucking sucks. Don't have Lamar Jackson on your team.
Ray beats me by 5 points. I remember that game because I was winning up till the end. Yeah, so I don't know, 2 of them, but most of them, yeah, were blowouts.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. So that was Corey's idea behind that, but you know,
I'd like to get picks back into the league, like trading for picks, because I don't know.
Picks, off-season picks, or just all season.
Like I still don't want to do like off-season trades, like after season, like the championship game until like basically preseason starts. Because it's tough to keep up at times, and you guys go out and get each other drunk and make backhand deals and other shit. You know, like that happens during the season.
Yeah,
but I don't want to have
Nicholson
to keep up
brothers.
with it. Yeah, I don't want to keep up with it in the off season. Like,
well, I think the off season is fine. I think the only thing with the off season that I would probably say, like, I wouldn't mind trading in the off season though.
Well, like I said,
but it depends on how much. Like, you should only be able to like make 1 trade a week, maybe. Like,
you can make trades right now. They're just not official until whenever preseason starts. Like, people are already doing that. like
Yeah.
100%. It's just the fact that I bet on some people like not following through, 6 months later after they make a trade one night that they regret, or some shit like that. But I feel like in terms of like balancing the league out, when we took away no picks for players during the season, like I think in the last 2 years, I mean, everyone right now has their first round pick, right? Like I'm pretty
Yes.
sure that's been that way every season for the last like 3 seasons.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, now we're trying. It seems like we're trying to trade picks right now, though. So it's just we can't do it in the off season or like
right
until the draft.
some swapping goes out. The fuck are you drinking? You a pirate? The fuck is that? Like a fucking handle of grog?
It's just water. It's a growler. It's a growler, but I just put water in there because this is this is the biggest thing I had as a jug.
Fucking with your no sleeves and your backwards hat. Fuck, dude. But anyway, like I don't know. I kind of missed that part because like the way it is right now, like look at my keepers, right? Like those running backs could be good, but they're not like sure things. If you look at some of these teams, like if we look at like let's go fucking look at Jake's team, right?
I remember what I was gonna say, by the way, while you're getting that. So like Corey's argument on the get 2 wins, right? Not to boast or anything, but I make the top 3 most years, so that argument is,
Look, man, you only have $100 more than me.
Hey, money's money.
I remember back when you were asking Corey about Zach Ertz at the draft. That was at
I remember when I drafted Matt Stafford.
That was fucking whatchamacallit, the league that we had where the Davis brothers fought.
Yep.
In the fucking alleyway where I fucking lived.
Beat the shit out of each other. Well, that was the same. That was the same year that you ended up in the bedroom.
No, that wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay.
That wasn't Clearwater. That was when we lived in downtown St. Pete.
Got it.
You don't remember that draft?
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, I forgot they made that. I forgot they went up to St. Pete.
Yeah, that was a dope draft too.
Seems like it seems like every draft up in the Tampa area was pretty good.
Well, I think we only had 2 there, right?
Yeah, and they were the best ones.
Yeah, they pretty much were. I mean, the Red Tide Fort Myers one we had a few years ago basically fucking killed the next 3 years for me. But anyway, let's look at fucking Jake's team, right? Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Jake's team is. So this is the thing.
Metcalf,
yeah.
Amari St. Brown, the fucking sun god. Who the hell else can you keep? Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs. Like, if you look at those keepers compared to what I can keep, the thing was before, when you could trade picks for players, like, I could have traded, like, Dalvin Cook for, like, a first and a second, right?
Yeah.
To somebody. Somebody would have gone for that deal if they were, like, doing really well. Like, maybe you would have, right? You were asking about him. Could have been you, could have been Garlo, could have been anyone, But the thing is, like teams like in my position, in Red's position, I don't know the status of everyone's keepers. But anyway, basically the way it works, right, is if you don't have 3 good keepers already, you go into the next season, the teams that won still have the same amount of draft capital as you, right? And I'd argue in some positions, like if you win the league, you get 2 back-to-back picks. Like you get the 9th and 10th and 11th pick.
I did enjoy that. It was very nice.
I love having those picks.
Yeah.
Like in my other like money leagues that I play in, like if I'm like
whoa, you have other leagues?
Yeah, I have other leagues. I won $1,500 in my other league.
What, last season?
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like it didn't seem like you were all there last season. It didn't seem like you were very interactive with the league or
and then I
making
like
trades. Could see are you retiring, Will? Are you?
No, I'm
Is
not
this your
retiring.
sign that
you
you're?
Want Corey to run the league? I mean, he has the time.
Corey's in the woods. We don't know. We haven't heard from him.
Although I don't even know if Corey has a computer anymore.
Well, they did have so there was actually another question from the league in Discord. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, what's that?
So let's see. Ray would like to know, have we talked as a league about what we're doing as a belt and a trophy?
Yeah, so I was looking at that. And yeah, so okay, I'll just tell you guys.
That's
I
my
was looking
bad.
at this.
That's my bad.
What was that?
First of all, I was supposed to do a belt last season, and I totally fucking dropped the ball on that.
Oh,
Like
that's not you. You're not the
oh,
commish.
but I
You
wanted to
buy
do it.
yourself a
I
belt.
wanted to do it for sure.
I was gonna get us a chain. I like it's like a metal chain. They have them on Amazon that you get through like a third party, and it has like a plaque in the middle, and you can get the whatever you want like in the plaque in the middle.
Nice.
And I was trying to get all of our faces on it, but you have to send them a black and white like template. So I had to basically like it couldn't be like detailed black and white like a photo. It had to be like the contours of your face. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Were
I
they gonna like
used
engrave it on there?
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It would be like straight up like engraved on it, and I would have like the league emblem in the middle. Um, but first off, I'm not a graphic artist, and second off, it's been years since I used Photoshop, so I couldn't like I knew there was a way to do it, but I couldn't figure out how to get like you ever see that like Obama hope picture where like
Yeah.
he's like blue and red and
Yep.
it's kind of like that because like his face isn't detailed, but it's enough detail
You
to
know
where
who
you
it
can
is.
make out what it is. That's kind of what you had to do for this like chain. Um, and I still might do it. I just haven't gotten
Sounds
around to. I
cool.
was messing up with it around like the Super Bowl, and then league ended, and I was like, well, I have until the draft. But I still might do that. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. We
There
might
you
have a
go,
chain
Ray Ray.
because I Lord knows that fucking Dalton ain't giving back that shit, and probably covered in his ball sweat anyway.
Yeah. That was a good trophy. I really liked it.
Yeah, no, I mean Bell is pretty sweet.
Let's see. And then Ray Ray also wants to know, how is scheduling actually done in this league?
Last
Hashtag
season,
uncover the mystery.
last season it was auto generated.
Okay.
The season before, I tried to do fucking rivalry week. So like
Yes. I remember the rivalry week.
everybody would play their rival at like halfway through the season. It was like week 8, so it was like me versus Corey, the Nicholson brothers versus each other. But then it was like Corey would complain that like everyone was his fucking rival, and like I think I had you versus Garlo.
Rivalry week. Every week.
I think I had Red versus Hogan.
Well, it was you versus Corey. That was like the big rivalry.
I definitely did that. But yeah, so when you manually set up the fucking league in Yahoo, like the scheduling, like I don't know how to explain it. It like basically gives you like an Excel spreadsheet, where like you select a drop down for like one team, and it has like all the people they like play against. So I just like clicked week 8 and like swapped the people all out, right? And then it like became this fucking affair where it was like some people were playing other people like 3 times. So I was like, oh, I need to go in and switch that second game or that third game they play into like somebody else. When I switch it to somebody else, it would give someone else a fucking third game against whoever I switched it to.
Yeah.
So I had to keep going through until everybody only played each other twice. And then I got fucking, I think it was Jesse bitching at me because he's like, I fucking played Hogan 2 weeks in a row. And I was like, ah, shit. Like, and I don't think I changed that. I think that stayed in because at that point I was like, dude, I just spent like 2 hours trying to figure this out. Fuck that.
All right. So auto generated. Will has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, from now on.
Now
yeah,
next season, if you want to generate the schedule yourself and just like, I mean, Red's my rival, so if we want to do 14 weeks against Red, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I bet you'd like that.
But yeah, I mean, that's those are just all the questions that I had from there. Basically, is there anything else? I mean, all my questions are asked. Again, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, you know.
Right.
But
yeah.
in closing, is there anything else that, as the commissioner of the league, you'd like to say?
Well, we'll probably have other rule changes that we'll vote on for the new season. A lot of things to talk about usually. I doubt much will change as always. like I said, I'd like to get picks a little bit more involved. That what I'm thinking for that, just as like a idea, is probably to make 2 different trade deadlines, one for players and then one for picks. And the one for picks
Has to be
will
earlier.
probably be way earlier.
Nice.
I'm talking like a week 8, like after
Yeah.
week 8, no more picks for players, because it really seemed like in years past, the last week became a heyday of just firsts.
Well,
and-
you're picking your favorite.
right.
All right, who do I want to win? And you're just giving everything to him.
Well, I mean, some people did that.
That's what it
And
turned into. The Nicholson
problem
brothers
with
were very, very big on that.
Well, the other problem we had too was that we'd have trade backs in the off season. So we'd have people who would like win the league, and then in the off season, like basically like right now, Jake could probably get like a first back if we allowed trades right in the off season.
Yeah.
So that's something I'll have to think through. But yeah, other than that, no other changes, no other thoughts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it was fun. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming
Yeah,
on,
thanks, Doc.
and we'll have the podcast up on YouTube in, I don't know, 2 hours. So for all the league members that are desperately asking for it.
Sounds good. Put it in the channel. I made a channel for you.
Yep. I'll put it in the channel too. And again, thanks, man. I'll see you. Just give me some game ideas, on the down low.
Peace out, man.
All right, man. See you, Will. Well, there you have it. Mr. William Roseberry, our fearless leader. Glad to have him on the podcast. Hopefully you guys learned a few things today. He gave us a lot of insight that, a lot of questions were answered. A lot of cool ideas that I didn't actually expect from him. So we're going to keep this thing going next week. We have a really, really enjoyable guest next week. Our 8th place finisher last year. The true commissioner of the league. So that should be an interesting conversation. But thanks everybody for tuning in to the Locked In Podcast. And until next time, appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe again. Remember, okay? If you haven't done it by the end of this video, just go onto the YouTube channel and do it now. All right, guys. See you later. This has been a presentation of the Locked In Podcast, hosted by Locke. Tune in next week, where we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, the true commissioner, Big Nick. And follow us on YouTube at Locked In Podcast.